Imagine, spending 30 years serving your community, building all that experience, and then deciding, okay, time to pack up and go do the exact same job, just in the next city over.
That's tough.
Yeah, and it's not some hypothetical. It's happening right now in Pierce County. We're talking experienced deputies, like one guy with 30 years on the force making that exact move.
30 years is a lifetime of service. Wow.
Exactly. Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we sift through piles of sources, articles, reports, firsthand accounts, and pull out the key insights for you.
Trying to make sense of it all.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Today, we're digging into a really critical local issue, the state of the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. Seems like things are getting challenging there.
Yeah, the sources we looked at paint a picture.
They do. We got stuff straight from deputies, detailed stats, official reports. It's a concerning picture, Frank.
It seems pretty complex.
It is. So our mission today, really, is to unpack why these deputies are leaving, what's the actual impact on public safety, and what do the numbers, the real numbers, tell us about staffing and pay compared to their neighbors.
Basically a shortcut to understanding the core problem.
You got it. Trying to get to the heart of the situation and what it means for you living in the community.
Okay, let's dive in.
All right. So let's tackle the immediate issue first. Deputies are leaving the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. And it's definitely more than a trickle.
That's what the accounts suggest.
Yeah, sources say 2 or 3 deputies have already gone to Tacoma PD. And there are another 3 deputies, plus a sergeant, apparently heading that way, too.
So a significant group just right there.
And that 30-year veteran I mentioned.
Yeah.
Part of that group, think about the decades of knowledge, community ties, just walking out the door.
That's a huge loss of institutional memory.
It really is.
Yeah.
And these aren't just numbers on a page. We're talking about real people, like Deputy Joseph McDonald. He actually wrote one of the key sources we looked at. He's seeing this happen day in, day out.
And what's really striking, looking at those accounts, isn't just the number leaving right now, but what it says about the feeling inside the department.
The morale.
Exactly. It doesn't sound like just a few folks chasing a paycheck. It feels more systemic. Like maybe the foundation has cracks.
Yeah.
Because when someone with 30 years decides to leave, that's usually not a snap decision, right? It suggests the underlying problems are deep enough to outweigh all those years of loyalty.
That makes sense. It's a last resort, maybe.
Could be. And losing that kind of experience, it's not just an empty seat in a car. It's mentorship gone. It's community trust that needs rebuilding. You can't just hire that back quickly.
No, absolutely not. Which, begs the big question, why? Why are these experienced people hitting that point? And that brings us straight to the first major piece, according to our sources. Staffing. Critical understaffing.
A numbers game.
Yeah, let's lay some of this out. Nationally, the U.S. average is somewhere around, 2.3, 2.4 officers per 1,000 residents?
Roughly, yeah. Very subjective.
Okay. Now, Washington State. It ranks dead last in the whole country for officers per capita.
Dead last. That's quite a statistic.
And guess who's at the bottom of that list?
Let me guess. Pierce County.
Gingo, Pierce County, with just 0.57 officers per 1,000 people. 0.57.
Wow. That's less than a quarter of the national average.
Right, and this isn't new. Sources confirm they've been dead last for years.
Right.
Many years. It's like a chronic condition.
So it's been bad for a long time.
Seems like it. Former Sheriff Paul Pastor had that famous line, "We do more with less."
I remember that.
Well, the feeling we get from these sources now is that's not a badge of honor anymore. It's maybe become a dangerous liability.
Doing too much with too little, perhaps?
Perhaps. Look at specific areas like South Hill, Parkland, Spanaway. Back in 1994, minimum staffing. 6 deputies.
Okay.
Fast forward to now, 2025, the population in those areas up by 46%. Almost half again as many people.
Significant growth.
Huge growth. And minimum staffing. It's only 7 deputies for day shifts and still just 6 for graveyard shifts.
Wait, so nearly 50% more people and basically the same number of deputies on patrol, sometimes exactly the same.
That's what the numbers suggest. Think what that means on the ground. Each officer covering way more ground, way more people, way more calls.
Stretched incredibly thin.
And what does that stretching mean for you, the resident, if you call 911?
Response times, I imagine.
Big time.
Huh.
Pierce County's average emergency call response time, 13.7 minutes, almost 14 minutes.
14 minutes for an emergency, that feels incredibly long.
It is, especially when you compare Puyallup PD, their average for top priority calls, 3 minutes, 56 seconds. Auburn, 4 minutes, 48 seconds.
So like a third or a quarter of the time it takes in the county.
Massive difference. It's almost hard to believe the gap is that wide.
And this raises a profound question, doesn't it? Beyond just the immediate danger of waiting 14 minutes.
Yeah.
What does that do to the community's trust, to your sense of security? Our sources hint at this kind of quiet psychological impact.
How so?
Well, people start thinking, maybe help won't come quickly. Do they hesitate to call 911? Do they worry more? Maybe feel disconnected from the people supposed to protect them.
I could see that, yeah.
And think about the deputies themselves. Always spread thin, maybe responding alone, minimal backup. That increases their risk dramatically.
Sure.
They're stuck being reactive, right? Just racing from call to call, always behind. That has to wear you down. It affects job satisfaction, feeds into burnout, makes people want to leave.
It's a cycle.
Exactly. It's not just about inconvenience. It undermines the whole system, safety, effectiveness, the bond with the community.
Okay, so if being severely understaffed and facing those kinds of odds is pushing deputies out, what about bringing new people in? Or just keeping the ones they have? That leads to the next big hurdle from our sources, compensation. It's just not competitive.
The money aspect. Always important.
Crucial here, it seems. Let's look at the salaries directly. A top-step Tacoma police officer, someone at the top of their pay grade for rank and time, can make $124,446 a year.
Okay, a solid number.
So a Pierce County deputy, doing essentially the same tough job, $112,257 a year.
That's, what, about a $12,000 difference in base pay?
Almost exactly. $12,000 less for doing the same kind of vital work.
That's already significant.
But wait, there's more. The sources call it the real disparity. It's how they handle premiums.
Ah, the add-ons.
Right. In Pierce County, usually you get like one premium for certain special jobs.
Okay.
Tacoma, they let officers stack multiple premiums. Think about it. You could get extra pay for being bilingual, plus for having military experience, plus for working nights, plus if you're a field training officer, training rookies.
You can combine them all.
Yes. And it adds up. It can be up to 16% on top of their base salary. 16%.
Oh, okay. That is a huge difference.
And even for special teams, SWAT, narcotics, things like that, Tacoma offers a 5% premium. Pierce County, only 3%.
So if we connect this back, that ability to stack premiums in Tacoma, it just blows that initial $12,000 base pay gap wide open, doesn't it?
Completely. It creates this structural advantage for Tacoma that a Pierce County deputy just can't match in take-home pay.
Yeah, it's not just tweaking the numbers. It's a fundamentally different way of compensating people.
Right.
And you can see how if you're a deputy in Pierce County, no matter how dedicated or specialized you are, you're looking across the city line and seeing people doing the same work, earning significantly more.
It becomes a primary reason to leave, according to the sources, even if you've been there for decades. It's not just about, numbers on paper. It's real money, especially with the cost of living around here.
Absolutely. It has to be a major factor.
And it doesn't stop there. The sources point out Tacoma has long since offered matching dollars towards retirement, a big deal for long-term security.
Which Pierce County doesn't do.
Apparently not, based on our sources. And then the kicker. Tacoma PD recently announced a $50,000 hiring bonus specifically targeting deputies from other agencies to come over.
$50,000 just to switch departments.
Yep. That's aggressive recruitment, while Pierce County seems to be struggling just to keep the people they have.
Wow. That sends a clear message.
It really does. Now, okay, some people might argue, well, county deputies always make less than city cops. You hear that sometimes.
It's a common perception, yeah.
But the sources push back on that hard. Pierce County is the second largest county in Washington state by population. Huge responsibility.
Right.
Yet they rank 7th in pay for deputies among Washington counties. 7th.
So it's not just a city versus county thing. They're lagging behind other counties too.
Exactly. It makes them an outlier, even among their peers. One source puts it bluntly. What the county executive says looks good on paper is not real life.
Meaning the practical reality for deputies is different from the official line.
Seems to be the message. In the real world, this pay structure means Pierce County is, and I'm quoting here, unable to retain deputies, which leads to this shrinking force and makes it incredibly hard to hire anyone new. The math just isn't working for deputies anymore.
A tough spot to be in.
So, wrapping this all together, what does this mean for you listening right now, living in Pierce County? This isn't just some internal HR issue for the sheriff's office.
No, it impacts everyone.
Right. These problems, the understaffing, which we know isn't new, It's now being exacerbated and accelerated, as one source put it, by these pay issues.
A perfect storm, almost.
Kind of feels like it. It creates this downward spiral. Experienced deputies leave. That puts more strain on the ones left behind. Makes the job more stressful, less appealing.
Which makes it harder to recruit.
Which means staffing stays low or gets worse, impacting response times, proactive work. The whole service suffers.
A vicious cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why you see this plea in the source material aimed at County Council member Ryan Mello, asking for a fair contract that will ensure the safety of our residents beyond the bare minimum.
Beyond the bare minimum. That phrase says a lot.
It really does. It's not just about morale inside the department. It's about the actual, tangible safety for everyone in the county.
And what really stands out here, I think, is how direct the line is between these issues: staffing, pay, retention, and your everyday safety and quality of life.
Yeah.
Why should you care about these, seemingly bureaucratic details? Because they determine how long it takes for help to arrive when you call 911, period.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. It determines if there are enough officers to patrol your neighborhood proactively, not just reactively. It impacts the experience level, the stress level, the overall effectiveness of the officers sworn to protect you.
Right.
A system that's bleeding experienced talent, that's chronically understaffed, that takes almost 14 minutes on average to respond to an emergency. It's just, by definition, less capable of providing robust public safety. It affects the whole community's sense of security.
Okay, so let's recap this deep dive into the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. We've seen an alarming number of experienced deputies leaving.
A real exodus.
Yeah. Severe understaffing when you compare it nationally or even just within Washington state.
Rock bottom, basically.
And a pay and benefits package that just isn't competitive.
Yeah.
Actively pushing people towards neighboring agencies like Tacoma.
Driving talent away.
So it leaves us, and hopefully you, with something to think about. Given everything we've discussed, what level of public safety do Pierce County residents actually deserve? And what role does paying competitively and staffing adequately play in actually getting that level of safety? What's the real cost, the long-term cost of trying to do more with less when it involves the people protecting our communities?
A crucial question for residents and leaders alike.
Definitely something to consider. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.